I have done 3 videos showing that if trans women have access to women's natural estrogen, either on patches, mostly on patches, because it's the much safest way to get that hormone into our system. And if they have access to natural progesterone and also a anti-androgen, such as, and the most powerful one is acetate de cyproterone, which is AngioCure. Unfortunately, AngioCure is not sold; it's banned in United States and a few other countries, but it's not banned in Quebec and Canada and France. Okay. In these 3 videos, I mentioned the countries of these trans women, and to see if they are blocked by psychiatrists or psychologists in their respective countries. By doing these 3 videos, I forgot to show photos of cis women for a comparison, okay, with the photos of trans women, and to compare. So I'm taking this advantage to do this video to also disprove a principle which I suspect it was invented either, but especially by the French and probably the English up north, okay, in Europe. And that principle is that man cannot look like women bodily, okay? So, and I'm going to be disproving just by showing a few anecdotes that some trans women look like cis women bodily. I can't show any nude, so the photos I'm going to be showing, they're either wearing a short dress or a tight jeans. Okay, I think mostly it's a short dresses to see, so we could see the white hips. A woman is identified on the street by their wide hips and also their soft skin, and this is all because of the third layer, which the third layer of the skin, which is the fat layer. Okay, the fat layer gives kind of like evens out the skin on top, and also the epidermis of women tend to be much thinner than man, and man doesn't have. Some of them don't even have a third layer, which is the fat layer under the skin, but their epidermis is very thick, and their skin is uneven, which makes them look, especially facially, more robust. Okay, and you could see also the relief of the bone structure of their face and some parts of their other body. Okay, and now, okay, now I'll be showing the. Now here's the hold on. Okay, I've mixed in. There's about. I'm not gonna tell which is which is a trans woman, which is a cis woman. Okay, so I'm just gonna show, and there's no nudity in it because it's against the policy of YouTube. Even though when we place it's 18 or plus, I'm not gonna be placing 18 or plus because I'm not showing it nudity, but mostly I'm gonna be showing diagrams, medical. Anatomy diagrams later, but anatomy in the sense of cellular, at the cellular level. Okay, so now I'm just going to show you. Here's one woman, another woman. We don't know if they're trans or cis or trans. Then goes like this. Okay. Now, there's a lot of people who are not pleased that some men who feminize their body and then they officialize themselves as to be um, women. Okay. And they really look like physically as women. Okay. When we're walking on the streets, we don't know if this person is passable. We don't know if it's a real woman or a cis woman or a trans woman which was born a boy. Okay. The suggestion that I have is that it's only a suggestion. Like I don't particularly care either way. It's to have that when the doctors, okay, the obstetrician, the parents, and also another doctor and also nurses around, they see the organ. If they see a penis and testicle, and so they'll assign that baby as a boy, okay? And if they don't see a penis or testicle, automatically they assign that baby as a girl. Okay. What I'm suggesting is that that should stay all the person's life up to the end. Okay. There's two reasons. Okay. The first reason is that there are some women who are not pretty, so it's not fair for them. Okay. And also is to say a statement, okay, that men are allowed to look like women physically, and then and also women are allowed to look like men physically. Okay, we just stay like that. The problem is it's the machos and the purists walking around, which the macho purists of the sexes, especially for the purity of women, of the women species. Okay, and when they see a man that looks like a woman, and they know this person is a man, they'll either attack him and mutilate his face or disfigure his face or her face, or they will kill her or him. Like I mean, the trans woman. Okay, you probably noticed that they mostly attack trans women. Sometimes they do attack trans man, trans boy, but that's mostly because if the women looks like a real man, they feel weak in front of a woman. Okay, because that woman um, gives more manlyhood than the macho that's running around. Okay, so this is my reason for stating that. I think it's so we could get on to other things like getting off this planet, getting every living being on Earth, every Earthling of no matter what species, we're getting off this planet, and we populate the solar system and other planets of a radius of 3 to 7 light years around us. Okay, and also trying to populate the universe, and also to meet up and have sex with other or whatever with other living beings from other planets. Okay, if we can. Okay, and try to be polite and just. And I think you know what I mean by that. Okay. Now it's easy. Okay. It's easy to be, for transition. The reason, what's the most important thing or action, okay, about feminizing our body as boys and man is to try to have or to widen our hips, and also to soften our skin, simply by taking 17 beta estradiol on patches. Okay, 17 beta estradiol on patches is probably the safest way to feminize our body. Okay, the best thing is to start at, I would say, even my endocrinologist mentioned that should be the 17 beta estradiol should be started at 12 years old, even 11 years old. Okay, so but that's another debate. Okay, the earliest, so your hips could widen, but technically, your hips could widen at any age, and your skin could soften at any age, but that depends by the person, by the body of the person. If the body has, or the testosterone, the androgens have not capsulate the genes, the feminine genes, the genes of femininity. And also it depends if you have if your body has a lot of stem cells. The pluripotent cells, meaning cells that are produced in the stems, and also they're traveling throughout the body, and they could differentiate to any types of other cells, like head hair cells, bone cells, and and also skin cells. Any types. That's how we regenerate, and that's important to for feminization or masculinization. Okay. Now. Okay. So society. Oh yeah, I forgot to show the photos of trans men. Now, bear in mind, these trans men do not take testosterone, so they're drag king. Okay, they're drag king in Berlin. So that's just going to give you an idea that trans men and trans boys don't need to take testosterone. They could, I don't know how they do it. They just put they might just shave their fleece, whatever the peach fuzz they have. Women has peach fuzz. They shave, they keep on shaving. eventually the hair will become much more coarse. Okay, I'm losing my voice. Sorry about that. Okay. Okay, here's the first drag king, and here's the other drag kings. Okay, so I also like a bit. Okay, now I think the thing that men cannot look like bodily look like women. It's a very cultural thing. Okay, mostly like I'll do another video. I'll do a video that studies that collected the data, from comic books from various countries like France, Belgium, Quebec, United States, England, and also Japan, and maybe China, to see all the variety of like different boys and men, especially men. There are some men who are very, very, very masculine, and men who look like women. Okay, either because they're vegetarian, or they take patches. They place patches on their skin of 17 beta estradiol, and or they're just like that. Meaning they're very in genes. They're very lucky. Okay, these. And I'm looking, like I read a lot of novels, sci-fi novels, and fantasy novels, and the Anglo-Saxon world, especially the Anglo-Saxon world, has a lot of men that look like women, and also Japanese. Okay, now this is probably this looks like Elric of Melniboné, which Elric of Melniboné has like long white hair and can look like a woman. There are some women looking like him. And you should know them. Okay, that's Morgoth and Sauron. Of course, the Japanese tend to feminize all their males, all their men. And here's Elric of Melniboné. Okay, so in another video, I'll collect all the different types of man, the different images of man, and also a lot of, depending of the culture, I'll try to find men who look like women. So what it does, what the culture do? It tells boys, especially and men, that they can look like women. That some of them can look like women. Okay, without taking hormones, placing patches of 17 beta estradiol, or just being careful, just being vegetarian, and just be careful what they eat. Okay, so and I have a little bit of trouble with the. Okay. Showing the photos randomly, women on the street, non-operated. Okay, yeah. Now I talked about my suggestion that that we stay with the identity in our identity cards, that we're born assigned boy man at our birth, or women at our birth. Okay, but it doesn't mean that you have to say that if you're a trans man. It doesn't mean that you have to say that you're a trans man. Of course, just to protect yourself. It depends. I'm just stating that if a trans woman and a trans man actually look like what they want to look like, nobody was going to know about them. Okay, but they have to pass. Okay, if they don't pass, they shouldn't go to spaces of the sex they want to be. Okay, especially if there's kids in it, in that space. Okay, but people will identify them as what they want to be, because they see them on the street and everybody's dressed up, either jeans, pants, suit, tie, white shirt, or dresses, skirt, whatever. Okay, they see how they dress, and also they see their skin, their hair, the structure of their face. Okay, the roundness of their legs, the muscles of their legs, the large hands. Okay, so they say that person is a man, that person is a woman. Okay, and a woman that looks like a woman dressed up is a woman. But if you all of a sudden, if you go to bed with that person should say that that person used to be was born a boy. Okay, they should. But let's say a lesbian, okay, or an homosexual woman goes to bed with this woman, and this woman looks like a woman except has a penis. Okay, so in that moment, from now on, that person is not a woman, it's a man. Okay, it's logic. Okay, in the mind of either a man or heterosexual man or homosexual women that goes in a room to go to bed with this woman, as soon as they see the penis, it's a that person is a trans woman, or was born a boy. Okay, so but they can't say this person is completely a man. Okay, and now if that person had a vaginoplasty, a very good vaginoplasty, they won't know. Okay, if it's an homosexual encounter, it's almost impossible to figure out that person was born a boy. Okay, if it's an heterosexual encounter, that's a little bit different. It depends, how deep is the vaginoplasty. Okay, there's a lot. Also, it takes the vaginoplasty is not really good in a sense, because our body tends, if they're using either the penis or the scrotum to do the vaginal cavity. But if there's no androgen or testosterone or dihydrotestosterone to upkeep the size of the penis and the size of the scrotum, it will shrink. It will shrink. Also, our body tends to be more round, in a sense that doesn't like cavities, so it'll try to shut down the vaginal cavity. Okay, so that's why there's no point, and that's why they have to keep how should I say, keep the vaginal cavity in the right size by doing exercise in it. Okay, so that's why it's but I'm just saying that basically, if you see a woman up in the street that looks like a woman, soft skin, white hips, even though there's a little bit of masculinity, some women has a little bit of physically masculinity, but the most important is the skin and the white hips. Okay, and don't forget, sex hormones touches on every cells of the body, and it might be a little bit of mosaic, but not that much. Okay, I'll show you. Okay, so let's see. No, where am I at? Okay. It's not this one. Okay. Now, so there's this that I've done. Hold on. Okay. Okay, so, and so now the drawing, okay, basically it's what we see, the people we see on the street, okay, the population. And okay, so now let's see here. Okay, so this is okay, this is the abscisse, and the ordinate is in the middle, and this is population, and this is, okay, this is 100% masculinity. Masculinity, and this is 0% femininity. Okay, and here's a 0. This is 0. It's probably 0%. Okay. 100% femininity. Zero percent masculinity. Okay. So this is okay. And here, okay, and this is the human population, and for man, the image, man who has a certain image. Okay, so it should go. Oh yeah, okay. Okay. Actually, this should be a little bit closer here. Okay. This part here. Okay. I call it 0, -1. Okay. This is called, I call it the soul link. Okay. When you meet somebody on the street, okay, you always could, even though if the person present physically, like perfectly, almost 100%, I would say, let's say 100% man or 100% women, because of the soul link. The soul link is is kind of like a link that we all have consciously by soul, by feeling. We just get a feeling that this person is either a man or a woman. Okay, and even though if they're not presenting, it's almost like a telepathic link that we all have, even towards even to God, let's say. Okay, so basically soul, conscious, sentiment, sentiment, feeling, collective consciousness. consciousness, which is God or the Holy Ghost. Or ghost. Nah, I can't remember how to spell ghost. Okay. Telepathic link. Collective telepathy. Collective telepathy. Okay. Which is part of the great ghost. Either call it, her, or him the great ghost. I think there's a ghost with it. I don't know how to spell ghost in English. Fantôme in French. Or revenant. I think it's fantôme. Revenant is something else. So because of this, okay. Oh yeah, okay. Now, if a man, zero femininity, okay, oh yeah, I forgot. Okay. I'll explain it later. Okay. Now, if a man starts off here, for a trans woman, if a man wants to look like a woman, either they identify as a woman or not, okay, but they want to feminize their body, they want to look like a woman physically, or a boy, okay, so they'll start taking, okay, then that depends on the culture of the person, the race of the person, well, especially the culture, because of if they have access to the hormones, and also what they eat. If they have mostly a vegetarian diet, or a meat diet, or a industrial processed food, which is not good. Okay, the meat is not good. The meat will either, for boys, will either super masculize them, and for women, depending, at the beginning, women will be super feminine if they eat meat, but that depends. They'll be they'll have like an let's say an insulting femininity. Shall we say? Okay, so now they take patches. They stick patches of hormones. So okay, so this is trans women. Okay, don't forget this, the soul link. Okay. Oh yeah. Okay, I think I get it. Actually, this should go like this. Hold on. I made a mistake. Okay, so now actually this doesn't go like this. Okay, this is the biology of it, the biology of the human body. Okay, and this should be smaller than that. Okay. God, okay, so it actually goes like this. Now here, okay, this is the soul link right here. Okay, this is the biology. Okay, this is testosterone. That side, that quadrilinear side is testosterone, and this is progesterone. Okay, now Okay, now because of the soul link, the soul, conscious, sentiment, feeling, collective consciousness, which is God. Why did I put a T there? Sorry about that. Collective telepathy is Holy Ghost or Great Ghost. Okay. Now, sometimes we completely we have a feeling that this person is a man, despite the fact that this person looks physically as a woman. We have a feeling that this person is a woman, despite the fact that person is like 100% physically a man. Same thing with the trans woman. The trans woman is 100% looks 100% like a woman. Okay, but because of the soul link, this is the what people perceive you are, the feeling. So it goes like this. Okay. Okay. So this here line is what the people perceive you by feeling. Doesn't mean they'll say, okay, well, this person, there's something odd. This person is exactly the sex what this person is, but there's something about this person's soul or conscious or past is not what this person present at the moment. Okay, so this is what I mean. Okay, so progesterone. Now I'll show. Besides the graph, this graph is going to be on my what do you call that? It's going to be the photo of this video. Okay, I don't know what you call it. I keep forgetting. No. No. Okay. Okay. So now progesterone. Okay, actually, it's the feminizing hormone is not estrogens. Okay, the reason why it's not the beginning of the feminizing hormone, or shall I say it's not the base. And there are some there is one estrogen that is the masculinizing hormone, and there's another estrogen that is the feminizing hormone. Okay, and I'll say something: the Chinese and the Westerners, the Chinese and the Westerners, the Anglo-Saxons and the Germans have a disagreement, and also the French. Okay, the Westerners basically they have a disagreement of which estrogen that feminizes and which estrogen that doesn't, that masculinizes. Okay, so basically, okay, testosterone. Okay, progesterone. Now these two hormones, okay, this is the masculinizing hormone, this is the feminizing hormone, okay? Now I don't know the whole picture. As a matter of fact, biologists don't know the whole pictures, okay, of it. But as I know, testosterone gets transformed into dehydrotestosterone, and or gets changed to 17 alpha, whoops, uh, okay, 17, I keep forgetting, oh yeah, alpha, estradiol, whoops, estradiol, okay. And also it might be, I'm not sure, okay, but a certain testosterone, but let's say we're going to forget about this, okay, there's a big question mark, can be changed into, okay, 17 beta estradiol, okay. But if that's the case, this here would be changed, would be produced in the testes, okay. This is actually called, this 17 beta estradiol is called the gonadal estrogen, okay? But also the 17 beta estradiol also is a brain or neuro estrogen, okay? Meaning that it's produced from de novo in the brain, starting from cholesterol, okay? Now, progesterone goes directly, can be changes into westrone, and then 17 beta westradiol, okay, westradiol. Or if it goes to let's say androstenedione, changes into 17 to testosterone, and then that changed it to 17 alpha. Oops, again, alpha. It should be alpha. Now I've been looking for the actual. This is all speculation from but also speculation from other biologists. Okay, about the changing between 17 alpha estradiol and 17 beta estradiol. Okay. Okay, 17 alpha westradiol. Okay, so that's it. Okay, now I'll show you. Now, where's the? Oh, there it is. Okay, so the data. So just to show, like I've been reading a lot of scientific literature, lots, not just what I'm going to show you. The reference I'm going to show you is not just that. It's not just what I differentiated press localization. Maybe it's this here. No, growth plates. No, it's not that. Estradiol. Okay, could be this one. No, it should. No, it's not that. Okay, well, I'll show you the. for this video, I'll show you the literature that this is a sample literature, okay, which specify what I'm saying right now, okay. Okay, this is the, now as references, I'll be showing this, okay. This is one of the references. Okay, here's the other one. I'll re-show the first one a little bit closer. It might be this one, actually. Okay, the other one, I don't have them in PDF, but I have them in, okay, so, okay, now I'll read the title. This is Bone Health and Osteoporosis, a report of Surgeon General, Chapter 2, the basics of bone in health and disease. Okay, that's one. And this one is a big one. Two. Oh, there it is. Okay, whoops. Oh, yeah, okay. That's another one that I don't need. Okay, this one. Okay, they're not on PDF. What I did, copy and then paste it. I should get them then when I found out when I was much more apt with computers and also internet, like I know about PDF now. I download them as PDF. I prefer PDF than just read them on screen or just get them like that. Okay, so this one is Endocrine Review, Volume 25. No, hold on. Endocrine Reviews 25, Volume 3. 389, page 389 to page 425, copyright 2004 by the Endocrine Society. Androgens. The title is Androgens and Bones. Dirk Vanden Schuren, Lisbeth Vanden Put, Stephen Boonen, Mary Kay Lindberg, Raji Bouillon, and Claes Olsen. Okay, so it's a very good article or review. So I'll try to find the, okay. So, okay, so this is done. Of course, I've read more references than that. Like I read about including books and including also my degree in cellular biology that I've done in the 1980. I've read close to about 500 books on the subject, which is the human body, biology in general, and also the history of biology or history of genetics. Okay, so now continue. Okay, now the Chinese say, okay, bear in mind the Chinese have been studying this since the 1910. by studying the eunuchs, their castrate in the imperial palace. Okay, so they have, and they see what castration do to the male body, and they found out intersex in their army, the nationalist army, and also the Red Army of China. Now the Chinese say is 17 alpha estradiol feminizes. Okay, and the Anglo Franco German Saxon say 17 beta estradiol feminizes. Okay, actually they're both right, but also one of them masculinizes, which I'll explain it. One of them masculinizes, both of them feminizes the human body. Okay, so now, okay, so oh yeah, I forgot to. Okay, now this is an hypothesis of mine, okay? Because I've been been reading the literature, and the biologists of the human body doesn't know that much either, okay? This is the hypothesis that 17 beta estradiol keeps the fat skin layer, the fat cells alive, and also you could see that there's three. I've drawn the three skin layers, which the brown line is the epidermis, and the red line the red contour is the derm, and then the white contour around the body is the fat layer. Okay, the women fat layer is much thicker than the male layer. Okay, and then I've drawn on my left the deep fat of the male figure, which has a hypertrophied and hyperplasied liver, because of this person is eating a lot of energy, a lot of fat, and a lot of proteins. And also a lot of sugar, which especially the fat and the proteins will hypertrophied your liver, and also plagiarize your liver. Hyperplasia is meaning that the organ has more cells, it produces more cells inside it. Doesn't grow. It doesn't necessarily grow. It grows because it has more cells. Hypertrophy is that each cell gets bigger. It's not the same thing. The number of cells. Okay, so, and also the other one that I'm showing. Okay, and also if it's 17 beta, the 17 alpha estradiol doesn't do anything about the skin. The only thing it doesn't do anything about the skin, doesn't protect the fat layer. It doesn't produce. It doesn't initiate or activate the replication of fat cells under the skin. But 17 beta estradiol does. Okay, and here's another one. This is the most important. Okay, now Okay, so I don't know if you could see it. Okay, basically this is the bone. There's the alpha receptors, the beta receptors. Okay, now let's start from here. Slowly, 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 slowly. Okay, so that's it. Now, the secret of why the bone, the forms of the bones, the man's bones and women's bones are different. They have different forms. Okay. Now, I'm not gonna go over why does women have wide hips, and why does man has high hips, but women has short hips and wide hips. Man has like narrow hips and tall hips. Okay, so now you can see the bone structure. Basically, the alpha receptors will be more on the surface of the under the periosteum, which is the membrane covering the bone. Okay, so the alpha receptors will be inside the osteoblast on the surface of the bone, and also the first 3 to 5 layers of osteocytes of the cortex, which is the surface of the shell, the beginning of the shell, the top, well, the beginning surface of the shell surrounding the bone. Okay, and 17 beta estradiol will be mostly inside. Most of them will be inside the osteoblast in the interior, the cavity at the surface under the endosteum, which is the membrane that's covering the interior of the bone, which is a cavity. Okay, and also beta receptors will be throughout the cancellous bone, which is the spongious bone inside the bone structure. Okay, so the way it took me a while to figure that out. Okay, but it's again, I don't have the whole picture because my memory is not that good. Those are reading that I've done for the past 20 years. Okay, so osteoblasts, basically on top you have the osteoclasts. The osteoclasts are the ones that take away dissolve the bone. Okay, it's multi-nucleated. It has like several nucleus. Okay, and they have what a protein or receptor called rank. Okay, like I don't remember it's on my phone. Okay, and also here you have the osteoblast. Okay, this is the osteoclast. Whoops. Okay, and it has only one nucleus inside, and it has OP. It has osteoprotein molecules inside. Okay. Now, osteoprotein. Okay, so basically, the estrogen. Okay, depending where. Okay, the osteoblast on the surface of the bone has like alpha estrogen receptors. Okay, and when the 17 alpha estradiol, okay, goes in, okay, what it does, it promotes this OPG molecule, protein, or osteoprotein molecule get on the surface, okay? And when the osteoclasts get close to the, this thing activates the osteoblast, okay? The osteoblast builds bone structure, okay? So this, and after that, this goes inside here, okay? This moves on, touching the osteoclast. And and this goes in there. And what happened is that the osteoclast loses its rank molecule. Just by, and when this is done, it loses all its rank molecule. And what happens is that the osteoclast either dies or is kind of like in a status. Okay, it just stops. It doesn't do anything. It deactivates it. Okay, and when it's 17, okay, in the inside of the cortex, especially in the osteocytes of the inside of the cortex, which is close to the cavity of the bone, and also throughout the cancellous bone inside the bone, the osteoblast, and also the surface under the endosteum. It's the membrane that's covering the cavity of the bone, inside the bone. Okay. Under that, most of the osteoblasts, okay, most of the osteoblasts have the beta estrogen receptors. Okay, so when you have 17, if you have a lot of 17 beta estradiol, and you have a low, because if you have a lot of that, presumably you have a low, you might have a high 17 alpha estradiol. That's what that means. I'll explain it in a few minutes. Estradiol, okay, goes inside, does the same thing as this, but from the inside of the bone, it stopped this from activating, from taking away bone layers, okay, from the inside of the bone, okay. So what happens? What it means, this increases the volume of the bone, okay. Okay, probably the cortex is a little bit thicker, and the 17 beta, it shrinks, and probably even maybe the cortex is a little bit thicker, but the inside, the cavity, will be smaller. This is why women produce less red blood cells and other types of cells that's done in the bone marrow, okay, because it's smaller, okay. So that's why, and these are the long bones, okay. I'm not talking about the flat bones. It's also in the flat bones. What happened is that women tend to have like fine features on their face, fine fingers, fine legs. They tend to be smaller because of this, okay. 17 beta estradiol stops, okay, basically stops the volume from increasing of the bone, and at the same time it promotes layers inside, so meaning that the cortex and also the spongeous bone stays the same width as in man, except the only difference is that man might have a slightly compared to women, a slightly thicker cortex, but it's only slight. It's almost like, and maybe some women has like the same width of a cortex. That's an assumation on my part. Okay. So basically, this is how, those are the two things. Basically, this is why the Chinese are right. The Westerners are right that 17 beta estradiol feminizes a human body, and because of the skin, because it keeps the skin fat layer alive throughout the body, all around the body, including the deep fat. Okay, the thing is, when you have less 17 beta estradiol, and the sensitivity of the skin fat layer, like around the bottom of your legs and your arms and your face, your fingers and your feet, they're less sensitive, maybe 5-10%. Okay, so that means eventually you'll lose your fat layer there. And if this goes on beyond like maybe 10 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, you have a very low count of 17 beta estradiol, but you have a high 17 because of you have more androgen out there that changes into 17 alpha estradiol. Eventually, you'll lose all your third fat layer, your skin fat layer on the whole of your leg, your feet, your hands, your face, and also under the breast, okay, under the skin of under the breast, and also even up to your hips, you'll lose even the fat. The only thing, it depends by the people. Fat cells are much more sensitive to 17 beta estradiol, meaning that if 17 beta estradiol is at a low concentration, it will still activate the replication and also the upkeep of the fat cells in your stomach, under the skin of your stomach, and also the deep fat. Okay, like when I showed you the drawing, the coloring that I've done, you could see the percentage of the sensitivity. Okay, so that's why this. Also, you have to be careful with certain plastic surgeon. Is that there are some women, okay, not trans women, but just cis women, who ask a plastic surgeon, to take out the fat cells under the skin of the stomach and place it under the skin of their calves, their legs, and their buttocks and their hips. And what happened is that for some reason, because these cells, basically, either what happened is that they necrose, so the woman gets very sick, could die, but eventually these fat cells die out anyways, because of because of a low 17 beta estradiol the cis women have. So, and it gets worse because this woman has no fat cells under the skin of the stomach. I'm talking about under the skin of the stomach, but under the omentum, which is when it's under the omentum, it's surrounding the intestine, which is called deep fat. The fat cells are still there. So eventually the women will have like an masculine obesity, which a big stomach, which is not good. This is what I showed you. Okay. I think that's about. And also the most important thing, 17. The Chinese are right because 17 alpha estradiol promotes either the hyperplasia of mammary glands or the hypertrophy of the mammary gland, meaning the cell 17 alpha estradiol promotes the growth of each mammary cells and also replicates the mammary gland. So in a sense, 17 alpha estradiol gives you big boobs. And I'm not talking about the brain now. That would be only the time. That's the only feminized. That's why the Chinese say that 17 alpha estradiol will feminize the human body because it promotes the replication of mammary glands and also makes them bigger. Okay, 17 beta estradiol stops the promotion, but 17 beta estradiol will place fat under the skin of where the breasts are, where the mammary, on top of the mammary glands. But this, okay, according to some experiment and studies, the mammary glands has the alpha estrogens receptors in it. So 17 alpha estradiol can cause a cancer, breast cancer, because it promotes the growth of one organ, which is the mammary glands, the breast. Okay, because it does that, if the woman has a lot of free radicals running around and a lot of also alleles that will cause a cancer, because of a lot of 17 alpha estradiol, it will cause breast cancer. And this is why trans women absolutely love, some of the synthetic, okay, alpha ethanol, ethanol, I don't know, okay, estradiol. Okay, that's a synthetic estrogen, and that's extremely powerful because the body has trouble getting rid of it because it's not it's an unnatural hormone, so it stays in the body for a long time. It's the alpha, the alpha version, so it promotes breast growth, and also it promotes cancer. So this is why, compared to 17 beta estradiol, as biologists and doctors are even using phytoestrogen and 17 beta estradiol, because phytoestrogen, which are the beta type, and 17 beta estradiol will attenuate the action of the 17 alpha estradiol, which will block them. Okay, so 17 beta estradiol and also the phytoestrogen, like such as the phytoestrogen in soy, lignans, and some of the beans, and some of the other fruits like pears, apples, pomegranates. They have like a parrying effects against breast cancer and other cancers also. Okay, so next time.